Hey, it's Tony talking CarBiz. Hey, here's video number 2, the interior overview on this brand new 2022 Toyota Prius. This is your Prius LE edition, the entry-level edition. If you didn't catch the exterior overview, go ahead and look for a link at the end of this video for the exterior overview. But in today's video, I'm going to go ahead and dive inside and show you all the great standard features on the LE and see why it's such a great car. So let's get started. Heading inside the LE Prius, we're going to stop on the door and take a quick look at the door panel first. This is all black and gray. There's no cloth on here other than there's some vinyl down here on the armrest. It is padded, so it's pretty comfortable, but black, gray, black. Notice we have a chrome door handle here. That stands out pretty nicely. Also, you're going to discover a lot of the piano black, gloss black trim on the inside. Power mirrors, power door locks, power windows. Interesting on the power window switch here, you can't see it. I wish I could show it to you, but only the driver's switch has a backlight on it. All the other window switches, they have backlights, but notice that these three right here, they're not lit up at all. So kind of interesting. Also, I noticed that when you dial down the dimmer switch, it lowers the light on the door switches all the way throughout the car. Bottle holders here on the door. Speakers here on the door. All four doors do have those speakers. Now this is going to be the standard sound system in here, so not the JBL audio system. It's not available on the LE edition. Let's take a look at the seats here. These are cloth bucket seats. Kind of have a nice gray pattern in there, and then they do have height adjustable seat belts, height adjustable headrest, both of those. This is a manual seat with a handle under the front. It does recline, and then it also has a height adjustment so you can pump it up. Airbags built right in the seat, so the airbags move with you as you slide forward. Much safer way to go about that. Also side curtain airbags right here in the A-pillars. Take a look at the dashboard. Of course, Prius is known for its kind of quirky style dashboard. There's 4 vents across the front here. It's interesting, hopefully you can see it in the video, but this actually reads Prius on the vent, so a little attention to detail. It's a basic model, but they still pay attention to those little things. Down on the dash we see more of that gloss black trim with some gunmetal gray silver trim. Dimmer switch for your dash lights, parking assist, traction control on and off. Hood, gas, and trunk. Here's your gas, here's your hood. Parking brakes down here, gas and brake pedal exactly where you'd expect them. We do have a tilt telescoping steering wheel, kind of like a vice. It's not a power steering wheel, but you definitely can adjust it to your own taste. Let's go ahead and grab a seat. Stop. So starting out, I wanted to let you know that I've got my camera basically up next to my nose, and I wanted to do that so you could see the bird's eye view from the driver's seat. I do have the driver's seat all the way back, and I'm 5'7", so what's interesting is I can't even reach the pedals from here, so I'm going to have to move it up to show you everything up front. But I wanted to demonstrate the visibility and how much leg and room there is in here, so I just slid that up a little bit. That's a manual seat. So let's talk about the steering wheel. It's a vinyl steering wheel, so it's not leather wrapped on the LE edition. There is a driver's side airbag with the Toyota badge and more of that gloss trim that we saw over here on the doors. Also, all of your switches here, your finger switches, those are all gloss black. So you've got controls for your sound system, trip meter, Bluetooth connectivity, and voice activation for your smartphone. We have our headlights over here. There are daytime running lights for auto on and off. We also have auto high beams as well. If we tip the steering wheel this way a little bit, we're going to have controls for our information center. That's going to be up in the ever quirky Prius gauge cluster. We'll take a look at that in a minute. But there's also switches down here for the dynamic radar cruise control setting and lane departure on and off. And then the Prius still has the older style stalk down here for the cruise control. And then I mentioned that this does have a tilt steering wheel. So if you've never owned a Prius or been in a Prius, what's interesting is the gauges on the Prius are all kind of in the center here. And I have a Prius, and that's pretty normal. You get used to it, but there's a lot of information up in this system here. Let me move my glasses out of the way. So you've got your speedometer, your fuel gauge, you've got an information center right here in the center Let me go back. And that allows you to, using your fingertip controls on the steering wheel, you know, you can control your heating and air conditioning, set your clock. You also have the ability to set up cruise control. And then finally, at the very end here is where all of the safety settings, so lane tracing assist, parking assist, backup sensors, pre-collision, pedestrian detection, all of those things are right here, and you can personalize them for your own liking. And then your gear indicator and a bunch of warning lights over on the side there. Don't know if you can see it in the video, sometimes it's hard, but a lot of information. And then on top of that, there's a large center stack here. So 2 more of those vents I showed you before, and they read Prius on here. We got a 7-inch touchscreen here. Kind of cool because you can switch between the different electric modes to see what's going on with your power plant. We've got a menu here that has audio, phone, a small app suite there as well. And then we can upgrade to a navigation map, but it's not standard on here. So a pretty good sound system. Sirius satellite radio, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and Alexa compatible. So it's got all the latest technology. It might be a little on the small side, but it's easy to see, and the backup camera is really fantastic. Take a look at that. Really clear backup camera, easy to see out the back. It doesn't have path projection, so when I turn my steering wheel, it doesn't really tell me which way I'm backing up, but it is very, very clear and easy to see. And then for parking, there's a parking button right here, and that's how you put it into park. Let's check out the shift lever on here. It's kind of the same blue that they use on the badges up front. And then down here we have our drive modes, so eco, sport, and normal settings. What's cool about these is you can actually change the way the CVT responds. So when you're in a regular drive mode, I'll show you up here on the dash. So up here there's normal, power, and eco. So there's a visual indicator. You don't have to keep trying to figure out where you're at. But trust me, when you go in the power mode, it surprises me every time I do it how much power it has. It is not a Corvette, but it is amazingly fast because those electrical motors. Probably quick is better the phrase for that. Heating and air conditioning are automatic controls, and you do on the LE only have passenger side settings. You don't have or driver side, you don't have passenger side settings. Front window defrost, rear window defrost with heated outside mirrors. Again, this is the base LE trim, but you have heated outside mirrors with automatic temperature control. So you get ice and snow on your mirrors, you tap the rear window defrost, it's going to get it cleared off for you. Pretty cool. There's also eco heat and cool mode. There's also the air conditioning off mode. The idea behind that is if you don't have a passenger and you don't need to heat this side of the car, you can tap that button and it will turn off the heating and air conditioning over here. And just another way that Toyota is trying to sip every gallon of gas out of the Prius. Now down further on the center console, there's no wireless charging. You do have to plug in, but I threw my smartphone here because there's this little slot and you can just drop your phone in there and you can get a good view, but it's not wireless charging. We do have, surprisingly enough, I'm going to switch over to EV mode. That doesn't work yet. There's not enough power in the battery because this is brand new. But we do have remote keyless entry. You get 2 of these with every Prius. There's a landing pad down here, but this is not wireless charging. It's just a place to throw your odds and ends, your pocket change, what have you. And then as we turn our attention further down, there's our cup holders. As I mentioned, there are bottle holders in the doors, but then there's cup holders down here. And then way down under here, there's a 12 volt, and then there's also a USB opportunity to charge up over there as well. So just a couple different ways to be able to charge that up. My camera's kind of going wonky on me. Please forgive me for that. Hopefully you got the point. Armrest, fairly long armrest, so as you move the seat forward and backwards, you should get good coverage. It's narrow, probably hold 2 arms. You might be fighting with each other, but I have skinny little arms, so it's not bad for me. Little odds and ends tray and storage underneath here. There's no charging ports inside of here, so up front it's just the 2 right here to be able to plug in your electronic devices. There's a quick look at the passenger seat. Bear with me while my camera adjusts here. Passenger assistance handle up there on the top. Your mirrors, you do have lighted vanity mirrors on both sides and visor extensions on both sides. So again, just those little creature comfort things that kind of help the base model, the LE if you will, be a little bit nicer. Overhead lighting is here. You do have safety connect. I mentioned in another video about roadside assistance. Tap that button, Toyota will get you the help you need. Here's your dome lights, lights up all the lights in the car, including the back seat. Sunglass holder right there. And then the LE Prius does have the kind of the old school day-night mirror. So no garage door openers, no automatic dimming, just your old school flip the switch and away you go. But a tremendous value in terms of a lot of the great comfort convenience features. You could, of course, can get dual air conditioning, you can get JBL, you can get an upgraded interior, you can get power seats, you can get all those things if you're ready to spend well over 30 grand. But for under 28, this is 27.1, a lot of value. So let's go ahead and jump in the back seat and check that out. Here's a quick look at the driver's compartment from the back seat. There is a lot of room up front in the Prius. One of the things that always surprise people in a Prius is how much room there is on the interior of here. So I'm here in the back seat and I want to show you the driver's seat. I've got this seat all the way back, and when it's all the way back for me, I can't even reach the pedals. Now this is all the way back, and take a look at that. Still a good 3 to 4 inches of knee room. The seat kind of tips up a little bit in the front, so you kind of sit like this, which is very comfortable. And I could easily ride in the back seat of here for you know, for a trip to Florida, no problem. Pockets on the backs of both seats. Okay, we also have your passenger assist grips up here. There's an overhead light right here. Folding armrest in the middle with cup holders. There's pockets, you know, bottle holders down on the doors, speakers in the doors. This is a cloth interior, so pretty comfortable. Similar pattern to what we saw up front. There's child safety anchors down here as well, so if you're putting in your child safety seats, you're going to be able to do that. Height adjustable headrest in the back, and we also can fold the seats down while sitting in the back seat. And notice I can do that without taking the headrest off. And here's those tethers here for your child safety seats. And now I can access the back seat, and I never had to get out of here. The headroom is nice. They've got it carved out kind of right where your head's at, both in the front and the rear. And this one does not have a moonroof, so you really do have pretty darn good headroom. I bet I have 3 inches, maybe 4 in the back. Let's go ahead and jump in the trunk and check it out. Diving into the Prius, it is a hatchback design. The hatch gets pretty well up and out of your way there. It's not a power hatch. I don't think it needs to be. It's actually pretty lightweight. If you're extra short, you might have a difficulty reaching up here. I'm 5'7", and it's not quite at the top of my reach, but pretty close. The lift over here is nice and low, so if you've got heavy objects, you're going to be able to get those in and out quite easily. Again, this is the LE, but it does come with a cargo cover. Most base model vehicles are going to charge extra for that. So that's a retractable cargo cover, and you can remove it. It's designed so you can stow it down underneath here. So let's take a look underneath. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm just going to open this up here so we can take a look. This is our spare tire reservoir here, and then underneath here is where we've got peel up this styrofoam. So that's going to be your temporary spare tire, and there's room underneath here for jumper cables, emergency equipment, those types of things. But once we bring that back down, we can go ahead and we'll take this cargo cover off. It's spring loaded, so all you do is just push like so, and it's kind of a tension fit, and then it comes off. It does store underneath there if you need it to. Now I'm going to go ahead and set it aside here. By the way, the only option on this one is these all-weather floor liners. It's $249. They're kind of like a super high quality rubber floor liner. Once that's off, you can see we've got rear seats that you can fold down 60-40%. So I'm going to go ahead and just drop those seats. I want to show you how much room. It's easiest to do it if you're up here. Go ahead and grab the release, drop it down. You can drop that down quite easily. And then I'll swing around here to the other side and do the same. You see, you still have plenty of room for a passenger over here. Pop that down, nice flat surface if you have large boxes, but then check out how much cargo room there is on this when those seats go down. Tremendous amount of cargo room. It's quite deep. It's over 5 feet up in there. I mean, you could throw a single air mattress in here and do an overnighter pretty easily. Also, cargo tie-down hooks in all 4 corners. We also have hooks here for your grocery bags, plastic grocery bags and such. And then finally, there's also a light here in the trunk as well. So a lot of little comfort, convenience features on a base model, coming in at just over $27,000 on this one, and that's with the extra floor mats. So really a great value on the Prius for 2022. So there you go. That's the interior overview on this 2022 Toyota Prius LE Edition. Hey, if you didn't catch the exterior overview, there'll be a link at the end of this one. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.